What's up, Guardians? Today we're going to be doing the part 2 to a video I made either earlier this week or that I made at the end of last week about Nezarec Sin plus Recluse and Bad Juju. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it down below, but essentially you can generate massive quick supers on any subclass using Nezarec Sin plus Revoker and then Bad Juju on top of it. Ultimately, we came to the conclusion that it's pretty good in PvE and that you can make some tweaks like adding a Hammerhead, taking away Bad Juju for Mountaintop to overall make it a pretty solid loadout for getting supers like Well of Radiance really quickly. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the other half of that side, which is the Crucible, which we discussed pretty short. We discussed a little bit, but we didn't go in depth. So today what you're watching in the background is me playing with the exact same loadout I used in PvE, but in PvP. This means I don't have any super mods right now, and I have Nezarec Sin, Revoker, Bad Juju, and Hammerhead. So today I just want to go over the pros and cons of this setup, and ultimately if I think that it's actually a viable loadout in the Crucible, because it's already a viable loadout in PvE. But so let's get into it. I think I'm going to start with the cons of this loadout. So first of all, the main idea behind the Bad Juju plus Revoker in PvE was that you can get your Revoker kills all really quickly, stack that Abyssal Extractors up to 20 seconds, then swap to your Bad Juju and stack String of Curses up to × 5, while Abyssal Extractors is still going on. You can't really do that in PvE. In PvP, Abyssal Extractors just doesn't seem to last. It doesn't feel like it's lasting very long when you're getting those kills in PvP, because the timer's really short, and the idea behind it is that you get multiple kills at once to get the timer really high up, and that just doesn't happen very often in PvP. Honestly, the only time my timer would usually be at like 1 kill after a Recluse kill, or maybe like 2 Abyssal Extractors like ×2, which is like 5 seconds, 5 or 6 seconds, because I got a double kill with Recluse or Hammerhead. That doesn't really work, because then you're not really using Bad Juju in combination with your Abyssal Extractors at the same time to gen your super really fast. So that was my one downside, was that Abyssal Extractors timer just never really gets really high, and therefore you never see huge benefits. You only see these small benefits from both String of Curses and from Abyssal Extractors. The other thing that I was having a problem with in this build was that you can get eliminations but not get the final blow, and if you don't get that final blow, you don't get Abyssal Extractors to proc on your Recluse, and you don't get String of Curses to proc on your Bad Juju. So the worst thing was doing a lot of damage to someone but not getting that kill, and therefore not getting rewarded that extra super energy, which is what you're really trying to farm in this build. The idea in PvP for this build would be to be the first one every single game to your super. So that's the idea, so that you can do something like that in comp, and then you can chain supers off your teammates and chain Orbs of Light off your teammates to get give your teammates Orbs of Light and start chaining supers to get a massive advantage. So that's the idea behind the build in Crucible. And when you get a kill stolen, or you just don't get the final blow, it really does. You don't get that huge benefit that another player wouldn't get, because they would just get the normal kill super energy. You're getting that kill super energy plus either String of Curses or plus Abyssal Extractors. So those are my two huge negatives for the build. But I do want to go into some positives, because I think that overall this build actually did generate a super really fast. You'll see by the end of the video I'll have used 2 supers, and I'll be like 3/4 of the way to my 3rd super. So if you take this build into Crucible and you stack some super mods on top of it, you are going to get your super really early, really quickly, and really often. So in that sense, when over the course of a game, String of Curses and those short Abyssal Extractor timers, they're going to add up to giving you super energy. And you're going to get, you know, an extra super or a late super earlier than you should normally get it. And again, in comp, the goal is to get your super first. You want to get that first super. You want to be able to pop your first super before anyone else has one to counter you. And that way you can get your kills with your super, and you can generate orbs for your teammates, and you can then your teammates can then use their supers to generate you orbs, and it creates this cycle of supers. And in competitive, I think this does have some viability when you add some super mods to it, because I think you'll be genning your super. If you're playing well, you'll be the first to generate super. Some things you can do to change this build up. Recluse is like the main weapon you're using. That's how you get Abyssal Extractors to proc. That's how you get those timers to increase your super energy. Your super energy gains really quickly. So you can change out Bad Juju for something like a sniper rifle like Revoker, or the Iron Banner sniper rifle. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but the Iron Banner sniper or Revoker pair really well with Recluse. And I've heard that some people have said, especially on the PC side, that Bad Juju really isn't a very competitive PvP weapon, which is fine. So if you want to swap that out for something different, maybe you want to run Recluse and a shotgun even, so you could do something like that. You could just change it out for another primary, like a primary hand cannon with a little bit more range. So you can do all of those types of things to really round out this build. So in PvP, I would suggest keeping Nezarec in, keeping Recluse, keep Hammerhead too, but just drop Bad Juju and add something like a sniper rifle or a shotgun to overall make the build more effective, as well as add some super mods, because we weren't playing with super mods so that we could get a fair test. And overall, I think that this is still viable, especially in competitive, as a way to get to your super first, to start the super chain. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay in the background, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.